real estate agents, we don't really start meetings until 5 minutes after they're supposed to start. I thought.
Exactly. So I've gotten a lot more easygoing with this, but when we first started this at 8:07, if we started at 8:07, they were locked out. They couldn't get in. So we just made a commitment. If you're not here within 7 minutes, then you're out, and you could try it again next week.
We were, this is 2007 and 8 when I was listing, at 150 homes. This is my opening script for every listing appointment. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be late. So finally, when the staff started scheduling my appointments, he'll be there between 1:30 and 2-ish to give me the window. And then they tell me 1 o'clock and 1:30, and I was usually on time at that point.
Gotcha. I'm a military guy. I'm opposite, man. If I had a 2 o'clock appointment at 1:59, I was knocking on the door and then we opened it. I'd say, hey, we have an appointment in 1 minute at 2 o'clock. And they're like, holy crap, and it was just my calling card to, try to set myself apart from the beginning of that.
Well, I drink a lot, so that's probably my big issue.
Well, you've been uber successful, so don't kid yourself. So I'd like to get started. George Philbeck is a good friend of mine now. We met in Florida in a little flyby that Brent Gove and I made into one of his events, and he was gracious enough to take Kirsty and I out to an incredible restaurant. I think it was Bobby was part of that.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was incredible, and then also, I went to one of his events in Florida, and it was just a first-class event. He had Elizabeth Riley and Sheila Fergeron and just some leaders there. And he's an absolute leader. He's in the top 100 of the company as well. And I'm really blessed to have you on the call today, George. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Absolutely. Glad to be here.
You're one of those superstars that I appreciate you contributing to others. We've had Gene Frederick. We've had, some real rock stars on this call. So I'm excited. The whole goal of this is we record the first half an hour. We'll put that on our pages so they can go back and get a little bit of inspiration before the perspiration and really get to hear from some of these leaders of what they're doing, how they built. And then at 9 o'clock Pacific sharp, we go live. And except with Gene, he went an hour and 15 minutes. We didn't have any time to make any calls, but it's Gene Frederick. You just
right.
let him run the role. But do me a favor, George. I could edify you and bring you in, but I'm not going to do any service. Can you please brag on yourself for a minute? I'm asking you to take off your cape for a minute and tell them things that you wouldn't normally want to say because of humility and stuff. But I'm asking you to brag on yourself for a few minutes and juice it up a little bit so they know who you are and what your background is.
Feel the burn. Scotch is good in the morning. God, I hate doing this, but I'll just run into it. So I've been real. I know
that's why I asked you. I'm begging you to do it.
All right, I'll run through. This is my resume. I've been in real estate since 2002. My first 3 years were all for sale by owners for sale by owner calls. That was all I did. A little bit of farming, but really FSBO. Sold 26, 28, 30 homes. Branched into had some money coming in 2006. As you know, the market changed. Wanted to get into add advertising to my calls because you can only scale so much without having to bring something in. Went out and met with two people. One was Marcy and Jeff Willems. The second was who y'all probably know. If you don't, you should. They're amazing. They only sell about 800 homes a year. I was getting into TV, ended up selling 150 homes the following year. Realized with a huge market, I knew it was changing. In 2006, I started pursuing the bank-owned properties. It took a couple of years to get into it. By 2009, we were waist deep. My best year was 997 homes because I didn't keep records. I'm not military. Otherwise, I would have bought and sold 3 homes because, who the fuck are we kidding? That's 1,000 homes. I can't say it, though. Pardon my French. It just kind of blew up from there. The REOs were great. And that's probably the last F-bomb I'll use. So my apologies. That's recorded, too. So oops. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, we'll edit it out. It's no problem.
Yeah, cut that part out if you would.
We don't. You're in.
Did that for quite a few years and was the top agent in Central Florida, was top agent for Keller Williams in the world in 2009, number 3 in 2010, and units sold. 2017 was introduced to the EXP model, looked at it, studied it, interviewed 72 agents, CEOs, CFO, COO of the company, slowly made a move. We had 5,000 agents and walked away from 7 REO listings per month that were given to me because this was what I considered to be the future of real estate.
Wow.
Past brokerage was Keller Williams. Love them. They're the only other company I would consider. I like that they put God in the mission statement. But decidedly, and this is a personal opinion, the culture's changed a little bit. It's what I interviewed everybody for with EXP. EXP's turned into the model where it really is agents helping agents, and we can make a big difference because we have an actual voice. We are the owners and the leaders of a company, and that's unusual. I've never seen that. The opportunities are vast, and my wife and I currently sell anywhere from 25 to 30 homes. We have 1,000 plus or minus agents in our group. We focus our energies on helping agents reach their goals. We focus on training because I truly believe that if we can help somebody reach their goal, they're going to be highly effective at traction and helping to grow our real estate business, since we're all broker, or really we're business owners for, whenever we join. How do we make people great at what they're doing and then let them tell their authentic story? And their authentic story is very compelling. And that brings us up to right about now. I have lunch at 12:15, so that's my hard stop.
No problem. I appreciate it. It's interesting, George. We have a similar journey, both in time frame and companies and all that. And I think we're brothers from another mother, honestly. The first time we met
you, I knew it.
Within 7 minutes, I'm like, this guy's my bro. I could tell already, and I love that about, I love that about life, honestly, that's the journey. But I also love that about EXP. That really is the difference maker between EXP is I've got people on this call right now that I've become literally, they're in my inner circle, male and female. And it's all ships rise with the rising tide. That's the real deal. And you're right. Keller Williams was the schnizzle back in the day, but I think they've lost their way culturally. I think that, I believed in that model as well. And I think it's, we talk about the other models being old fashioned, right? Coldwell Banker, Century 21. They were hot in the 70s, and then Remax, and then, Coldwell Banker had a stint, and then Keller Williams was really dominant for almost 20 years. And they really redefined real estate. And now EXP is that EXP of the 20s. And now into the next decade, EXP is going to redefine real estate that way. So do me a favor, walk me through a couple of things. As a leader, the reason I have you on the call is so you can shed a little bit of wisdom of your journey, what you do every day, and how you can make a difference in these folks' lives. Because I think there's that one thing that's going to maybe be able to trigger them or go aha or something, right? From all these different leaders, and you're hearing all kinds of different stories, and everybody tracks with somebody differently. So, first
let me start off.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Randy.
No, you're good. It's your call, baby.
It started, when did you join EXP? How long ago was it for you?
I started in 2016 officially, but because of Tom Ferry, we didn't bring the first agent on until mid 2018.
Okay, so I was 2017, but didn't talk to anybody. And for all of you that haven't been with EXP for a while, we had some wicked scaling pains. Going from 5,000 when I joined in 2017 to 10 was hard work. And I didn't speak to anybody about EXP until mid 2018. Truthfully, so we're exactly the same. And I think you're about 1,000 agents in your partnership. Is that correct?
Yep. We're almost right there together.
Okay. So we had in our mind, my vision was that there was there's so many great things that we offered, but we've got an Achilles heel. You all know that. And it's how do we get interconnected? Yeah. We started doing a mastermind call in 2018. We do one every day, every Tuesday. Okay. And that mastermind call was basically just an ability for us to come together because we were a little separate, as you'd expect. We're in different areas, different parts of the state, the country, and it allowed us collaboration, which I thought was really pretty cool. We're now up to 5 days a week. We do it every single day of the week. We have a book club in there. We've got a health group in there, and we've really created an environment that is an EXP-based environment. Meaning that we are virtual, but we're also live. We focused our energies not so much on attraction, as you sometimes find and hear. And we focus more on how can we help an agent reach their personal goal? And we do that through training and coaching. So you asked specifically to my day. Besides my personal, just, getting up early and going for the walk and going to the gym and all that, my real day with my work day starts at around 8 o'clock. There's a call every morning. I try and be on some, or I'm working on my business. And really, it's just, half of my day is spent focusing on that. Now, I have the luxury of having an incredibly talented business partner wife who is turned out to be, and don't tell her I said this because it drives me nuts, a better negotiator and a better real estate agent than I am, because I was the best. But that's you, baby.
No shame in second place in the household.
Not this one. I know my place. It turns out, I mean, my wife is like, stop traffic, beautiful. But it turns out really I'm the pretty one and she's the smart one. And I've come to wear that nomenclature fairly well. That gives me some autonomy to be able to really focus on what my passion is, which is coaching and training. And I do it as Gene does. We do it part-time. I do a little in the morning, a little in the afternoon, a little in the evening. But that's our focus. We keep talking about that incessantly. How can we help you reach your goals? What are your goals?
Right.
I was a team leader for a very short period of time with my past brokerage. I'm not in the hand-holding business. We have a lot of automations and duplications and a lot of really good training. I am in the problem-solving business. When bring me a good challenge. If you want to know how to use the MLS, call your board. You want to know how to negotiate a contract, that's my realm. I can talk about that. So we're really kind of trying to go, and we focus our conversations on high level conversations, yet our trainings seem to be pretty basic. We just don't duplicate stuff that's already there. And there's so much in EXP to offer people success. I believe success begets success. If we can help them get there and keep them in the community, we're going to have partners for life that are thriving. I will tell you, there is competition coming around and in all different ways. And the one thing that we have is leadership. And, Glenn is brilliant. So the entire leadership group is amazing. We have a company that is stewarded by what I consider to be some of the absolute best in the industry. We alluded to Keller Williams, and they've lost a little bit of their culture. They had a president, their CEO named Davies, who was with them. And that was when we had this massive growth, because culturally we were very, very aligned. And it starts with leadership. Gary's brilliant, but he's no longer the leader. And it's a little different. We've got Glenn, who is crazy smart. I mean, just uber smart, and surrounded by Jason and Dave and everybody else. And Glenn, I mean, just we are the future of real estate.
Yeah.
That's what my day consists of for the most part.
And I know this is not public yet, but I'm going to say it anyway in this call, is Mark Willis was really the foundation for me of Keller Williams. I think him and Mo Anderson and maybe a couple Daves and a couple others that were foundationally the rock of Keller Williams. And they've had a lot of turnover lately. Well, we're getting Mark Willis. He's actually coming to the company in the spring. So that's
I didn't want to mention that. Is that happening? Are we
that
finally? I didn't want to mention that. That's why I went with Davies.
That is happening. I'm in a non-official capacity, so I can say anything I want to, right? But it is happening. And it's really, really exciting. Obviously, the leadership can't make that statement yet, but I do know that that's happening, and there's some timeframes that had to happen. But that is just, again, another thing that's going to help propel this company into the stratosphere.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the greatest growth is ahead of us. I mean, we're at 84,000 agents. I think the 200 and 250,000 agent mark is really when we start hitting our stride. And those are going to happen in the next 2 or 3 years. By the way, everybody on the call, how many agents what's the difference between 250,000 and 85,000? You've got a big gap of opportunity there. So for those of you that think, it's too late, trust me, I wish I would have done things differently in 2016. You got 1,000 shares for enrolling an agent in 2016. And then it went to 750, then it went to 500, and then it went to 250. It's a little painful to talk about in hindsight. But again, that was in the scalable growth model of EXP. And then they had the sustainability model that happened at 16,000 agents. That is where we are now. It's brilliant. He thought about this 11 years ago. So George, we love the company, right? I think that's doesn't need to be said anymore there. What are you doing specifically to grow your organization? What are your daily accountability non-negotiables, if you will? And is it focused on leadership? I know when our organizations get to about this size, everything changes. About 500 agents, I noticed that we had to really go administratively and training and support, and it really started taking away from the daily activity that that I started with, right? That I was able to grow from 2 to 500 and so on. What are you seeing in daily activity focused on agent attraction? This is an agent attraction call. Don't hide behind it. This is what they want to hear.
So I'm out of my database. I'm out of the people I know. I'm going to now people I don't know, but that know me through real estate. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because somewhere in here, this is a list of, you can't see that because I'm on a Zoom background, but here's a list of 200 agents that I've done transactions with who absolutely know me because of my sales. And I'm going to start calling them. And when I'm done with them, I'm going into the ones I don't know.
Yeah.
My 21 FLQAs, 39 people that are in my FLA are people that I knew that I'm in relationship with or have established relationships with in a slower capacity. For me, I'm switching over to a faster growth cycle where I'll be calling 5 to 10 people a day and setting that up. Hold on one second. This is my 12:30 appointment. Jay, I'm on a call. 12:30 work still?
Yeah, how about 12:45?
12:45. See you then. Bye. Sorry about that.
We just got more time with you right there. Bam.
Yeah, listen, all of a sudden I have a hard stop at 12:30. Works out perfect.
No, it's all good, man.
So that's it. Well, let me touch on that, because it's I think it's important. It's about being consistent. My day is consistently I'm always looking to add one person per day, and I regularly fail at that. But my mission now is I can fail at one person per day. I'm not going to stop trying, which means usually talking to 5 people that I haven't had a relationship with, or following up with at least 2 that I have part of the 5.
Right.
And it's continually adding to it. Biggest thing though is following up with them though. And I use CRM Grow for that. And I send out every 2 weeks some form of update that I think is pretty relevant.
I love that. I want to share a win Debbie used that doesn't have her camera on right now, but Debbie called me yesterday with her very first recruit, and she's been in the company a couple of years, but it's scary for a lot of people. Let's be honest. It's not easy for everybody. It's not easy for anybody, but it's really difficult for some. And she called me and she goes, "Oh my God, there's a company in North Carolina that just merged, and there's a lot of movement going on, and there's a lot of uncertainty. So uncertainty creates curiosity." And she goes, "What do I do? What do I do?" And I'm like, "Listen, just take a deep breath. All you do is edify me and introduce me, the reason that they should connect with me." People on the call, you have to stop, unless you're Matthew Stewart or some rock star that is now one of the leaders of growing, you have to stop trying to talk about the model when you don't understand it yet. Leverage your 3-way partner, leverage your senior partner, and then listen. And if you do that 10 times, you might be ready to then take the initial, start of that conversational questions. But in the beginning, just leverage it. And then when we got done, she's like, "I didn't realize how easy that was," right? I just texted her my edification. She read it word for word. And then I got to talk to this guy because she edified me properly of why there's value to be on the call together. So I think that's a big takeaway for this particular call. Let
me add to this real quick, because I think it's important. So for everybody, if this should happen on an everyday basis. Whenever you meet a real estate agent, "Oh my God, how's business? Where's your business come from? What do you think of this crazy market? What do you think is going to happen in the future? Tell me about your brokerage. I'm always keeping my options open. That's what I do." And ask them, "Oh, that's great. That's terrific. What else do they do?" And if you continue asking questions, what they'll do is say, "Tell me about yours." And this is
time out. That's so awesome, because that's exactly what we've been beating into their heads a little bit, is if you get really proficient as asking questions, the reciprocity of human nature, they're going to come back and say, "Well, tell me about you." That's your key, right? That's your opportunity that you get to say, "Okay, hey, this is my story. This is my journey." So sorry, George, go.
Well, and then what you do, so ask questions. And if they don't ask you about the brokerage, that's cool. Put them in your follow up with them, and ask them more questions. Keep them being engaged with them. By the way, this is Database 101. How are you? What's going on? Oh, tell me about real estate. No. This is a personal call. I'm calling because I care about you. Care about them. Be their broker, be their partner beforehand. And if they do, who's teaching you and who's coaching you and getting to your goals? Well, I don't really have anybody. You should talk to Randy. He's really good. He coaches me personally. I'd love to make an introduction. There's your opening for it. When they do ask you and say, "All right, tell me about EXP." All I can do is, this is it. All I can do is give you my authentic story. Okay. This is just me. I was looking at this, then whatever your authentic story is the case, and finish with, I'm not really the one that can explain this best. Hopefully your authentic story hits on some of the things that they've told you they're looking for. They want their career, their business, their adjustment. The market's freaking me out. I'm afraid. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm optimistic. Who's helping you build your business? Nobody is. My authentic story is I got Randy in my corner. This guy is absolutely amazing. He knows more about real estate than we'll ever know in our entire lives. He's got more knowledge, period. Hello, kitty cat.
I know I got cat ladies in my
animals and babies, dude.
program.
Animals and babies. They'll stop a call instantly for both of those. That's how we roll here.
No
But
babies, George.
Randy's awesome. I mean, he's the man. Let me tell you what, he's really busy. Important. If I could get him on a quick call, would you be open to having a call with him? The worst thing that's going to happen, we're going to learn something about improving our business. Would that work for you? Yeah, sure. That's great. Here's a group text. First off, Randy, dude, I got a great somebody I want you to talk to. She's this, she's that, she's amazing. She's just a powerhouse agent. I'm gonna do a group text and we'll set up a time. Would that be cool? So I'm going to edify Randy on the text. I'm going to edify Susan on the text. I'm going to say, Susan, I want you to meet Randy. He's XYZ PDQ. Randy, here's Susan. She's amazing. She's PDQ XYZ. Hey, can we get a little bit of your time? I'm pretty sure Randy's going to respond back with something almost exactly like this. Hey, Susan, great to meet you. Love to set some time. What's good for you? Setting it up. And he'll probably say somewhere in there, you know, in case I need to present something, why don't we make this a Zoom call? Would 12:30 work for you? And then sit back, and when the call starts, hop on the call and say, Randy, let me introduce you to Susan. She's unbelievable. Be a little bit excited and get super excited to introduce her to Randy to Susan. That's great. And then shut the hell up. That's it.
I love that. And shut the hell up's important.
Yeah.
So, you know, many a times I'll do a three-way call with junior leaders, and they're just excited, and they keep wanting to chime in they have value in the call too, but it's very disruptive actually. So do your best just to let the leader go unless the leader asks you a question, because the leader wants to involve you in the conversation as well and continue to edify the relationship. But if you keep chiming in, it's breaking the continuity of the conversation, I find. So that's probably one of the biggest things. Matthew, I give him shout outs all the time, but he's the master at edification, both in the leader and the candidate. You know, he is the master of that edification. It's true. And so, you know, listen to Matthew's calls. He does 5 days worth of calls as well. Plug into these people that you attract to, and you hear a script, somebody says it's super smooth, listen to their call, write your own script out in your language. So man, some golden nuggets here. So do me a favor, walk me through your rev share. A lot of people like Cindy Wadsworth, they came in from Keller Williams, they're ready to light the world on fire, and they hear all these different stories about, you know, I did this and I did that. What's your real story? Like when you started attracting, what did your growth look like? You've got almost 1,000 agents now. What did the growth look like over that few years? And what did the rev share numbers look like along the way, if you know them?
I do. Do y'all actually, it'd probably be easier if I just showed them to you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I could. Let me make it so you can share your screen.
Okay,
That's
that'd be great.
An added bonus I didn't expect. I love it.
Attraction Daily. So this is almost done. I'm going to have to get a new one. It was given to me a long time ago, so I've kind of worked through it.
Okay.
And it's worked out effectively. Let's see. We're going to start with first year. Here you go.
Awesome.
So this
Cool.
is, I joined in November of 2017, talked to nobody. One of these three people is my wife. The other was a listing or a buyer agent that worked for me. And the other was a woman named Alex Nordine, who is just a great friend of mine, knew me from Keller Williams. She said, wherever you're going, I'm going. That grew to 6. These are real numbers, by the way.
Right.
And to give you a reference point, there's the dollar amounts. That's what I made. My first revenue share check was $1,300 because my wife was there. We closed a couple sales together.
Nice.
And then it dropped off to legitimate because she finally, I got to share this with you. So my wife says to me, and exactly this, she's 5'2", she's Cuban. We both worked at Keller Williams. And she said, I'm never moving to EXP. I'm staying at Keller Williams. I love Keller Williams. I love the office. I love the people. I said, you haven't been in the office in 6 months. It doesn't matter. I love the people. You haven't seen them in 6 months. She goes, I love the training. I said, no, you don't. I met you at Bold 5 years ago. You hated Bold. You've gone to nothing else. That was the only training you did, but you love it. Doesn't matter. I love the people at the office. Oh, we're back to that again. She finally goes, I'm going to join, but if it sucks, I am leaving in 1 month and there's nothing you can do about it. Stuck her little finger in my little Cuban finger in my nose. So that was how this all started. And she wasn't coming. She was fully prepared to jump off. She finally joined me right here. So she's now still one of those 6, but that's why this dropped down, because she was no longer FLQA, or she wasn't producing revenue. This is my first year of income that I received from revenue share. And I'm like, holy cow, it actually works. And this is the growth, 6, 12, got up to 100 agents that first year. Probably sponsored of my own, maybe 10, one a month, 12 at most, I think is the right number. This is the second year, third year, fourth year. You'll
Look
see
at the
there's a
big
really
jump between 2020 and 2021.
There was, yeah, we've moved up pretty strongly, but yet you'll see, and we're currently at 2022. This is a real number right here.
Right.
These are the extrapolated numbers that will grow. That's probably pretty accurate for the end of it. It slowed a little bit in here, as did everything, because everybody's so busy. The analysis that you can catch rain in a thunderstorm, which is what we're happening. This is the busiest, the most successful real estate industry or time we've ever had. It's about to change. They're going to want what you have.
Yeah, it changed, bro. Yeah, it didn't shift. It shifted like in 3 weeks.
So these are real numbers. There's a great month, 8,000. That was unbelievably exciting. You notice it kind of duplicates. These are 2019, 20, 21. We'll be over 450 for this year. That's literally how it goes. And this is the important. I want you guys to listen. There's 5 words. You can plagiarize these. I've copyrighted them. I've trademarked them. I'm going to sue you if you use them, although I'm not intelligent enough to know how to do it. Time on task over time.
Ooh.
This is for you, Randy. I'm going to say it a little slower. Time on, no, I'm kidding.
No,
time on task over time.
Time on task over time.
This is a business. We bought it.
I like
for
it. TOT.
TOT. Yeah. T times T over T. That's you. Actually, that was all over the summit, and it's all over everything. We say that, and please plagiarize it, Randy. You can take anything we got, folks. It's not a sprint. It's a long game. It's a long game. It really, really is. We're building a business as we build any other business. Now, for all of you, unless you're making, $500,000 a year, I need you to sell homes and be successful, be the best you possibly can. But in every opportunity, this is so much fun with multiple offers. We'd have 15 offers on a property. Y'all used to that? Is that the norm for y'all too? Where even a couple months ago, it was absolutely crazy. You still see a little of that. You know what I did? I brought on 3 agents by doing this. I called the ones back that didn't receive it. And I said, I didn't feel comfortable just writing you an email like everybody else. You worked so hard. I wanted to make sure I reached out to you personally and tell you exactly what happened off the record. So you can tell your buyers so they know that you have great relationships and you're a super strong agent. And I wanted you to have the information of why we accepted the other offer. Oh my God. Has anybody here been accused of, I've had somebody say, what brokerage you with? I said, EXP. Well, that explains it. Everybody with EXP is really nice because we're interested in relationships. No, and I want to ask you, and I want to challenge you. What opportunities do you have in your day-to-day business to reach out across the barrier of buyer, seller, seller, buyer, and create a deeper relationship by being interested, particularly if you're a listing agent? You have an opportunity because you really do hold the cards. How can I best serve you? Because we're partners. What? What? Really? Do you mean that? Yeah, of course I do. We're business partners. We work together. It's a small industry. How can we help you? What do you guys, and I don't have an answer for this, Randy, so I'll ask you, what are you doing specifically for new agents? Because remember this, 80% of the homes sold in 5 years are with people that aren't even licensed yet. That's a stat that's true. How are you supporting your new agent growth? I don't have that answer. I know how we do it. And we commit. We have a full day. It's Thursdays today. Is new agent, emerging agent boot camp. And we have a call where it's not stuff that they're going to learn through the through
fast start. Right.
Yep. Ricky Caruth, great coach.
Yep.
And so do all that because but working with buyers, what are the tools? Working with sellers. This is a curriculum that is really easy to do. And everybody here can lead it. And that's the part that's kind of cool, giving back once a month or, and that's what we fill in our calls with. We have masterminds every day and they're filled in by us, not me, us. We're a team. We work together. I challenge you guys to do that too.
I love that. What was that stat? I've heard it before. New agents that are going to enter the market in the next 3 to 5 years, or what is it?
80% of the homes sold 5 years from now will be by agents that are not even licensed yet. I believe that's probably a little off. I would say 60% is probably more realistic because there are some very strong agents. We know that some of us have been around for a while. But that's
still 80-20. I think that still fits, George. I think it's accurate, and if it's not accurate, it's really close to being accurate. So
right on.
That's a big deal. So just to give you an idea, we partnered with the CE Shop, which is a licensing school that's been forthcoming and valuable for leads for new agents coming in the market. But on the other side, we just created a 12-week boot camp that we're really proud of. Jeff Sutherland, myself, and Andrea Beam created this boot camp that we're going to open up to all EXP, because there might be a monetization value in it, but it's going to be inexpensive, $300 or something for 12 weeks. We're going to do, programs where they can get it for free if they get skin in the game. And then at the end, they graduate, they get it back if they're in my organization, things like that we're doing. So I'm very excited about the future. I have a couple quick questions I want people to ask before we wrap up with you, and we value your time. And I could go all day with you, brother, and we get to see each other soon. But couple objection handling for me to put you on the spot a little bit,
Sure.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm sure you've heard all these, but I'd like to hear your value and take on them. Hey, I'm not a recruiter. This company's not for me. I'm not a recruiter. It's an MLM. It's just not for me.
Yeah, we need you to be a successful agent, because that's what we focus on. And if you're talking to somebody who wants to know more about it, I'd be glad to help and do that heavy lifting. Simply just make an introduction. You be what you are good at, which is selling homes. And we're going to support you in your sales, because ultimately your success is the only thing that really matters. And there's a bunch of people standing behind you to make sure you have what you need when you need it. If somebody else needs that kind of support, I'd be glad to speak to them on your behalf. You focus on what you do great.
I love it, brother. Good job. Okay, so EXP, the ship's already sailed. I've been watching the stock since it was $3, and it's just the stock market's really kind of beating up EXP. But I think it's too late to get into EXP personally.
I'm really glad to hear that, because that means what you would have built and grown, I get to do for you on your behalf. We're at 84,000 agents. We'll be the top agent or the top company in the entire world by the end of next year, overshadowing the largest one, which is Keller Williams. And our growth has happened in 11 years as opposed to 40. I would jump on board this because I'm a business person. I look at it from a business opportunity. And bottom line is, even if I'm not participating 100% in the growth and the stock, which everybody says, well, it keeps going up and down, it's free. I do free really well. This is just benefit on top of benefit. And it's not market multi-level. Look at me. I got no hair. I'm not selling lotion. This is agents helping agents. We want you to be the best you can be. If that doesn't fit with you, if you don't want to be amazing, well, I got 100,000 people that are standing beside me saying you can do it, and we're here to help you. If that's what you want, let's talk more.
I love that. I love that. Any questions for George before we value his time and he gets off this portion of the call? The next thing we do, George, by the way, is live dials. I make live dials. I encourage them to make live dials. I prepare for my day. So I have 18 names of people that I'm going to contact today. So I prepare for this call. This is my favorite day of the week, actually, because I get juiced up by you leaders. But you're welcome to stay for that if you like. And we don't record that portion for obvious reasons. Right. We don't want an agent to come on board and then find themselves on a recording. But questions, I saw Simone hand up. Yes.
Thanks, George, for being here this morning. My question goes back to your numbers. I saw that there was a big increase. I don't know the years, like 380 to whatever the next year was, like at the end.
2020 to 2021.
Yeah, 2020, there was a huge jump. So I'm in around that 380-ish now. What do you attribute to the big jump in that 12 months?
Really, it was my partners, the ones I was engaged with. It was bringing them and including them in this. I got a new app, which allowed me to communicate better. I have an iPhone, so I use an app called Reach, and I can send personalized messages out to my first and second line. Second line's too big to do at this point, but my first. And really trying to be more inclusive. I have on my schedule that I will call everybody in my first line at least every other week as a minimum. And that's really important. I know, Brandy, it's a little, you and Brent are like thick as thieves. He's a very, very good friend of mine, but I get a call once every 2 weeks from him, a FaceTime, and it just brightens up my world. And
isn't that so true? I mean, he does that. He's able to stay connected in a way that makes you feel completely special. And you are special. Think about the size of his organization, but he reaches his front line every 2 weeks through FaceTime.
Can I give you guys...
I'm doing that from now on. I'm just committed to that.
I'm going to give you a secret to do it at a higher level. This is Database 101, and I am a fanatic about database. I want you guys to consider. So Simone, let's use you for an example. You've got 300 agents. If you were saying realistically in your follow-up, the people that you've spoken with that haven't joined, they will, but haven't joined yet. How many people would you say that is? If you had to throw out a round number, just guess.
People that I have spoken to or haven't?
have spoken to and haven't really connected with, but your follow-up, which is where the sweet spot is.
225.
Okay, awesome. So if we took 225 people and I told you I needed you to reach out to them every single month and talk to them, about their business, how you doing? I noticed you did this. This is amazing. Would you be able to manage that in an effective fashion? 225 people over the course. That's a lot of people. Probably
That's a lot of people. So no.
Okay, so let's take 225. Let's divide that by 28, the exact numbers of days in the business. Could you call 8 people a day? Just 8 people a day, and have a conversation about their business and be genuinely interested. And by doing so, if you take the weekends off, you may have to call 16 people follow up. These are people you actually want to talk to. So maybe it's 150, 5 people a day.
Yes.
Can you handle that?
Yes, I can.
That's your follow-up. It's also your database, by the way. So think about this. If you got a database of 150 people, your best people, this is where your business comes from. That's mine. I'm mainly database driven. I divided them. They're all part of my COI. So they fall into COI, or in my case, in KV Core, they fall under a tag called recruit. And every one of them is broken down into 21 recruit, or today 4 recruit, 4 COI. I have 3 people I have to call that are part of my centers of influence. I call them and I talk about them, not about real estate. If they bring it up, I usually deflect. If I'm calling the people in my follow-up, people you've already had a conversation, they've already seen a little about EXP. Hey, if this were Simone, I'd be, hey, Simone, how you doing, man? Listen, I just saw you close that other home. That's really, really good stuff. Way to go. What's going on? You know, at some point you're going to say, are you going to talk to me about EXP? No, this is me calling my friend. We're in business together. It's a small, screw with their head. Don't talk about EXP. But you need to reach out to them on a regular basis, and then a follow up with some kind of something that's relevant about the market that you clip. Hey, I thought you might want this. You'd be amazed at the response, because you're no longer a threat. Now you're an ally. And that's what you need to be, because sooner or later, their broker's going to piss them off. And you're the person they come to, they talk to, who loves them and actually cares about them. That'd be my big tip for the day.
Amen. So let's talk about what's going on in the industry, just so you guys have some ammunition. Compass has just laid off 10% of the workforce.
Hold on, right there. Compass is $772 million in debt. They just estimated they've got 3 quarters left. SoftBank isn't giving any more money. The Saudis want nothing to do with them. They can't prove the model. If you know somebody in Compass, start becoming friends with them.
I thought they were more in debt than that. You're saying 72 million in debt?
I thought it was 72 from my graph, but I know it's a lot, and they won't make it. They've got 3
million in debt, but
that's
it's a huge number, but we'll look at that because it's public now. Remax just got rid of Booge, which is their CRM that they spent millions on. They just abandoned it, and guess what they went to? KV Core.
Right on.
They went to KV Core as a company. There was a big merger back in North Carolina. 500 agent company just merged with another company. Very disruptive. Everybody's unhappy. My point is staying in tune with this so you can have conversations that are helping them, see the light and or just get a feel for what's available out there. A couple pieces of language that we use is if they start giving resistance, rather than trying to shame them into EXP, just say, hey, I find it to be financially irresponsible to at least keep my options open in real estate, or it's financial malpractice not to at least know what's going on in the real estate industry as it affects you and your business. Right. So those are a couple key words that you could use that might inspire that opportunity to have more conversations with them. George, man, I had so many takeaways today. Number one, Nikita's not going to want to hear this, but that sheet you have of like your 5-year journey I don't have that. I've never followed that. I have my wealth chart that's dialed in, but I don't look historically. Nikita's going to get that for me. Sorry, Nikita. And then the other thing is, how can I contribute to you, George, and your organization? We appreciate you being here. It comes at a cost. We understand that. Let me know what we can do to contribute to you in any way and help you and your organization.
Who here is going to EXP convention in Las Vegas? Show of hands.
Everybody on this call, I guarantee it.
Outstanding. Well, there we go. My name is George. I drink bourbon. That's it. It's just that easy. I will definitely be there. Oh,
you're my man.
Oh, I got something to share with you. So
okay.
This is really, really cool. Is it cool? Do we have time? Can I give this to you real quick?
Absolutely.
All right. So
is it cool? It's on the recording, just so you know.
I'm sorry.
Is it cool? It's on the recording?
Yeah. What the hell?
Okay. Cool.
We want it to go as far and wide as we possibly can. So in my market, I'm in the Orlando market, Central Florida market. Just to give you some names that you may recognize, these are in my market: Veronica Figueroa, Chris Bear, Mitch Rybach, Debbie Weller, Renee Funk. This is my market right here. We're all in here together.
Okay.
To say we're highly competitive is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So, but here's the problem. We've got a solution. We're actually finalizing it on Monday morning. The problem is we're at the outside, everybody looks in, they're like, well, you've got this group and this group and this group and this group and this group. And that's totally cool because we have different things and different secret sauces, and that's cool. What we're doing is we're coming together as a Central Florida region. We've already got our state behind it. We've got Dave as on our state brokers, like, hell yeah, what can we do? Because we can't communicate with everybody, because you may have, Randy, you may have somebody here, but they're not part of our tribe, so we don't know who they are. Our state broker is already helping us. Here's the part that nobody knows, and this is kind of cool. Glenn Sanford's going to be on the call.
Oh, I love it.
Because I messaged him, I'm like, I want you to be aware of what we're doing. I think we can change the dynamic. I think we can create a synergistic model that really does what it's supposed to. Because once you're with EXP, you're with a different tribe, a different group, that's fine. But the people that are not with us yet don't see us as EXP as a whole. They see us as different groups, and that's killing our
You're
business,
right. That's
killing
a
our
great
philosophy.
takeaway.
So we're going to do 7 to 8 huge regional, like, think of it, if everybody in Phoenix got together and said, let's do a Phoenix EXP killer training, killer social once a month, 8 months a year, the entire external market is going to be like, what the heck is going on? These guys are huge. They're the monsters. And that's our mission. And we're starting it Monday morning, 10 a.m.
Wow.
So
That
our goal would
is
be
huge. That's a big takeaway for me as well.
Yeah, I haven't even talked to Brent about this yet, or Jeff. We put together, or put all swords aside. We said, let's come together. Now think about this. I mean, I've got Renee Funk, who's just,
oh yeah, you've got
iconically awesome.
Yeah.
And
the top
Mitch
50 in the
Vibach,
company.
yeah. And Veronica, who's an incredible powerhouse. I used to coach her years and years ago. And now she's top agent there. We all have our own competitive nature. We're putting it aside to say, how do we come together as a group and make EXP Central Florida the most powerful brokerage with the most powerful people and the most powerful training, and offer it to every single person except for one brokerage, which we don't like. Was that out loud? I didn't mean that to be out loud.
I love that, man.
Okay. No, and it's not Keller Williams. I love Keller Williams. You'll figure it out. It's just a direct competition. We're like, all right, but we're coming together, and it's actually, they're of course included. This is our family.
I love how you're keeping it real, man. Keeping it real.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Thought I'd share with you.
This has been spectacular. I think you're one of the best guests we've had so far, and I mean that. I love you, brother. And
He says that to everybody, doesn't he?
I do say that to everybody, but I mean it with you. Honestly, though, you're that guy that we could not talk for 6 or 8 months, and then we see each other and it's like, we've been apart a day. And so I just appreciate that about you. Thank you for your contribution. Bourbon on me, clearly. And Cindy's mother, bourbon girl.
I know what we can do, Randy. Let's do this. Why don't you take your wife? I'll take my wife. We fly down to Brent's place. We make him rent a boat, and let's go sailing for a couple of days.
Done deal, man. Done deal. I happen to live 5 minutes down the beach, so we can make it work.
Are you down there now?
Yeah. I'm not there now. I'm in Oregon, but we're going to spend the winter there. We're going to snowbird it.
That's just messed up, dude. Seriously?
Yeah, it is. Sorry about that, brother.
Are you doing 6 months residency?
Yeah, we're doing it. Come on, you're next. You are. You're on the list.
I want to. Jackie will let me do it because our girls
You're
are
already
still
in Florida. That's like a puddle jumper.
Yeah, but I'm not a fan of taxes at all. So there's a huge benefit to that. We're almost at 3 years from now when the girls are done, but then I'm gonna actually have my boat down there because I want to live on the
I love that, man. I love that.
Yeah,
well, listen, go about your day. I appreciate it. I honor your schedule and your time you've contributed to us today. It means a lot. I see a lot of stuff in here. I love your energy, George. Thanks for sharing. From Cindy. I love Simone said the idea of what you're doing in Florida comes from thinking of abundance, not scarcity. That's the takeaway for this call. Yeah, that's what's making this company different. We've seen this model before, and this is going to be something special. So I'm excited about that. But thank you for being here, brother. I'm going to stop the recording now, and then we're going to get into our regular scheduled broadcast.
Guys, have a wonderful day. God bless you. Go out and get them.
Thank
you,
tell everybody you appreciate it. I'll see you in Dallas in a few weeks.
Look forward to it.
Later, my friend. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye now.